My brother lost his job, so I took in his whole family, paid every bill. Then at dinner he toasted, "To Uncle Mike, our pathetic sugar daddy." They all laughed. Then he sneered, "Let's be honest. What else has he got? No wife, no kids, just his sad little life and spare change." Even his bratty teen daughter laughed in my face. I stared them down and said, "Enjoy your last free meal, ever." 2 days later, I did something they didn't expect. "So what, Mike? You want a thank you card or something?" The words sliced across the dinner table like broken glass. My brother Derek smirked, swirling his wine as his wife, Alicia, scoffed beside him. Their daughter, Sophie, barely glanced up from her phone. My mom, Margaret, let out a sigh, clearly uncomfortable, while my dad, Harold, busied himself with his potatoes like they might save him. "You've been here 2 months, I said, keeping my tone even. "I've paid every bill, bought all the groceries, even covered Sophie's therapy, which, by the way, you never thanked me for." Derek lifted his glass. "To Uncle Mike, our pathetic little sugar daddy." They all laughed, even Sophie, that high, mocking teenage laugh that cuts deeper than most insults. Then Derek so added with a shrug, "Let's be honest. What else have you got, huh? No wife, no kids, just your sad little life and your spare change." The room went dead silent after that, and I said quietly, "Enjoy your last free meal, ever." I'm Mike Donnelly, 43 years old, software engineer, quiet, never married, no kids. I bought this house 5 years ago after a messy breakup. Everyone said I should have moved on by now, started dating again, found someone. But life doesn't always give you second chances the way people think it should. I've always been the reliable one, the fallback guy, the Uncle Mike who shows up, pays the bill, nods politely. But what none of them seem to get is that I'm not weak, I'm kind. And that's not the same thing. I let Derek, Alicia, and a Sophie move in after he lost his job. They had nowhere else to go. He cried when he asked me. I took in my own brother. Ian gave up my office for Sophie, let their dog tear up my garden, and tonight they laughed in my face. "You're being dramatic," Alicia said later that night as I stood at the sink, washing the dishes they'd left. "Am I?" I asked, scrubbing harder than I needed to. "You always had this thing. Like you think you're better than us because you saved money and stayed single." She shrugged. "But really, it's kind of sad, Mike. You don't live. You just pay other people to." I didn't ask for applause, I said quietly. Just a little respect. From the hallway, I heard Sophie giggling on a video call. "Yeah, my loser uncle went off at dinner. Ugh, I hates it here. He smells like sadness and old books." Something broke in me, and it wasn't the dish in my hand. That night I sat with my parents in the living room. Mom looked tired, older than I remembered. Dad was fidgeting with the TV remote like he couldn't figure out how to say what he wanted to. "I thought you guys might say something," I said. Margaret rubbed her temples. "They're just stressed, honey. Derek's going through a lot. Am I not allowed to go through anything?" Harold finally looked up. "You're not the one with a family to feed." That stung more than anything else, as if, because I was alone, I didn't count. The next morning I woke up early. Coffee, silence, clarity. I opened my laptop, called my lawyer, called a realtor, called a moving company. By noon, I had a plan. That evening I handed Derek X an envelope. He looked at it like it was poison. "What's this?" he asked. "A timeline. You've got 48 hours to find somewhere else," he scoffed. "You're kicking out your own family?" "No," I said. "I'm kicking out the people who treat me like garbage." Alicia screamed. Derek threatened. Sophie rolled her eyes and muttered, "You'll die alone anyway." Mom tried to mediate. Dad got angry, angrier than I'd ever seen him. "You're making a mistake, Mike. You don't abandon family." I stared right at him. "You let them abandon me," and I walked out. For the first time in months, I felt light. 2 days later, I transferred $25,000, not to Derek, to myself, out of the family emergency fund account I'd opened years ago and poured money into in case anyone needed it. I'd planned to gift it to Sophie's college one day. Instead, I booked a solo trip to Iceland, rented out my house for extra income, deleted the family group chat, changed the locks, and I sent Derek one last message. "Hope you find what you're looking for. Just know you burned the bridge." No reply. It's been 6 weeks. I'm sitting at a cafe in Reykjavik, breathing cold air that feels like freedom. I don't hate my family. I miss pieces of them, the way things used to be. But I know now. Being alone doesn't mean being empty, and being needed isn't the same as being loved. If I'm pathetic for having peace, solitude, and financial security, then fine. I'll be pathetic, with a glacier view. And guess what? I've never felt more powerful. If you found this story as jaw-dropping and satisfying as I did living it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because I've got plenty more family drama and redemption stories coming your way. See you in the next one.